This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 2773. I'll Show You Mine by Shannon McLay with budgetsaresexy.com. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. This is actually one of multiple shows in our network covering different topics like personal development, health, relationships, and your work life. So if you like narration-style podcasts, be sure to search for Optimal Living Daily wherever you're hearing this, and check out our other shows. But for now, let's get right to it and continue optimizing your life. I'll Show You Mine by Shannon McLay with budgetsaresexy.com. I'll never forget the first client who entrusted me with investing her money and the day that money was delivered into my firm for me to manage. I will never forget it because that was the day that I stopped sleeping. Why did I stop sleeping? I felt the weight of hers and other clients' hopes and dreams falling on my investing shoulders, and it felt like the weight of the world. After all, I spent days and weeks getting to know this person, to understand what she wanted from life, to find out about her kids, her job, her retirement goals. And now the decisions that I was making for her could mean that Billy couldn't go to college if he wanted, or Susie wouldn't have the wedding of her dreams. Or worse, Mrs. Smith would now have to work until she was 80 instead of 65 to achieve her goal of retiring to Florida. I may be exaggerating a little, but I would want a financial advisor who lost sleep at night over my money rather than the alternative. And having worked in one of the largest financial advisory firms in the country, I can assure you that most advisors don't lose a minute of sleep over your portfolio. In fact, many advisors I worked with told me that I was too emotional when I would share my fears. I didn't understand how they couldn't get emotional about money. In order to better control my emotions and get some sleep as a financial advisor, my best solution was in my very own investing strategy. I invested my clients' money the same way I invested my own money to varying degrees of asset allocation. And unfortunately, that practice is not the norm. Advisors all have what I call their secret sauce, or their investment portfolio that they utilize for clients. Most advisors guard their secret sauce as much as Bush's guards the secret to their baked beans. In fact, when I started out and I was in the process of developing my own sauce, it was very difficult for me to get any sound advice from the senior advisors. This always surprised me because I wondered why they wouldn't want to share the secret of their success with others. After some finagling and threats by my manager, I became privy to the secret sauces of many advisors. And what shocked me the most was how different their client's sauce was compared to their own. How could you invest one way and do something different with client money? Unfortunately, the basic answer to that question is that you make more money selling some investments over others, and money is a highly motivating factor in investing decisions. However, there are certainly other reasonable responses that are not quite as nefarious as this one. The only way you can really know, though, is to ask. On just about every financial website available, there are many articles about the questions you should ask your financial advisor. And typical questions include the following. What is your investment philosophy? How do you get compensated? How much money do you have under management? What services does your firm offer? And how frequently should I expect to hear from you? And let me let you in on a little secret. Most of these questions were created by financial advisory firms, and they specifically train their advisors on how to best answer these questions. In fact, we had weekly role-play dialogues where we were trained in the best responses to these questions. So if your advisor has a great answer to your question, it's because he or she has been trained to answer it. Here's the question you really need to ask your advisor. How do you invest your money, and can I see your portfolio? You'll get lots of responses, I'm sure, and here's how I would respond to some of them. Advisor response. My compliance would not allow me to share that with you. My response. BS, that's a lame excuse and you're just a chicken. What are you hiding? Advisor response. I don't have money invested right now. My response. Really? Is it because you don't have money or you're sitting on the sidelines with cash? If they don't have money, run away. I don't think an advisor has to have millions of dollars, but just like I wouldn't hire a pediatrician who doesn't have kids, I wouldn't hire an advisor who doesn't have any money. Even a little in a 401k or IRA is better than nothing. If they're sitting on the sidelines with cash, why are they advising you to jump in when they're sitting out? Advisor response: all my money is tied up in real estate. My response: you just talked about asset allocation for 30 minutes. Do you not take your own advice? Advisor response: well, I have different goals for my money than you. My response: yes, and different goals would just suggest different percentages of asset allocation, not completely different assets. Advisor response: I'll gladly provide you with a statement of my holdings and I'll white out the dollar amounts. My response: you're hired. Hedge fund and private equity investors require that their fund managers have money invested in the fund before they commit to investing in it. If this is a good rule of thumb for people with millions of dollars to invest, why shouldn't it be a good rule for people with thousands of dollars to invest? Advisors will tell you that no one should care more about your money than you. These are the advisors you want to invest alongside with because he or she clearly cares for their portfolio the most. Your relationship with your financial advisor is similar to that of your spouse. And if you can't trust them and feel comfortable knowing you're on the same team together, then why get married to begin with? Keep this in mind the next time you sit down with an advisor. It may feel a bit awkward asking at first, but remember, it's your money and nobody cares about it more than you. You just listened to the post titled, I'll Show You Mine, by Shannon McLay with budgetsaresexy.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary. Have you been frustrated with personal finance apps that are cluttered with ads, difficult to use, or rarely updated? So is Monarch. They built a new kind of personal finance app that's intuitive and powerful, ad-free, and constantly improving based on customer feedback. Maybe you're saving for a down payment, a wedding, a dream vacation, your kid's college. I found that Monarch makes it so easy to help you reach your financial goals, whatever they are. I definitely wouldn't be able to allocate my finances or plan as clearly without help from Monarch. In fact, Monarch is the top-rated all-in-one personal finance app. It gives you a comprehensive view of all of your accounts, investments, transactions, and more. Create custom budgets, set goals, and collaborate with your partner. And now get an extended 30-day free trial when you go to monarchmoney.com/OFD. After trying out Monarch for myself, I understand why it's the top-rated personal finance app. And right now, get an extended 30-day free trial when you go to monarchmoney.com/OFD. That's monarchmoney.com/OFD for your extended 30-day free trial. When I talk to people about working with a financial advisor, most of the time they aren't working with a financial planner. The terminology can be confusing, and there are certain designations like CFP, RIA, etc. to be mindful of. But if you want a planner, make sure you aren't settling for someone who's just going to choose investments for you. Many people who present themselves as financial advisors are really just investment pickers. Most of us don't need that since investing is really the easiest part of money management. If you're looking for a comprehensive financial plan that isn't influenced by conflicts of interest, it's important to find a flat fee advisor. Not fee only, not fee-based, flat fee. You want to pay them for their time, not hand over a percentage of your portfolio through AUM fees. Flat fee advisors are incredibly difficult to find because out of 700,000 people who call themselves financial advisors, only about 3% offer their services for a flat fee. For this reason, most of us will never have access to unconflicted financial advice, which makes it even more important for us to invest in our own financial literacy. If you want to learn more about the dynamics of the financial advising industry and how an advisor might play a role in your financial journey, check out the video titled, Are FIRE and Financial Advisors Incompatible? On the Economy Conference YouTube channel. But that should do it for today. Have a happy rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow for the Wednesday show, where your optimal life awaits.